Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here with Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm here for day one of this week's online card class to go. Every week I do an online card class to go, and you can get it in the mail, the kit with the PDF, with any order in my Tuttle Up shop of $50 or more. And if you spend $60 or more, we always throw in the embellishments for you as well. So a $50 order just gets you the basics of everything you need to create the cards. We cannot stamp anything for you. That's against Stampin' Up policy. So you need to have the bundle when you are getting the online card class to go if you don't already own it. A lot of times people already own it. So, all right. So thanks for joining me today. When you pop in, let me know you're here, and we can chat together as we craft today. Some things I need to talk to you about that are going on right now. You know, I always start out with all the blah, 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 so we can wait for everyone to get here. First of all, product of the month this month is an awesome stamp set called Fabulous Sayings. I happen to have it in my hand right here. Fabulous Sayings. It is $5 with any order of $75 or more. So be sure to add this to your cart when you place an order of $75 or more. Okay, it will at the top of the ordering page saying there's a bar that shows whether you've qualified for it or not. And if you just click on that, you can add it to your cart for just $5. Great stamp set. I love the fonts. I love that there's just a lot of general sentiments in the stamp set. Happy birthday, you're on my mind, thank you, sending love, hello. You can do anything. I love that. There are simply no words for this. I know there are times that we've had friends going through hard times, and you can say you're on my mind, and then there's just no words. I don't have the words, but I'm here if you need me, right? So great stamp set, fabulous phrases, $5 with any order of $75 or more. Okay, all right. So that is the product of the month. And then next we have bonus days going on right now. So for every $50 you spend, you get a $5 off coupon to be used in the month of February. Okay. So just make sure that you're keeping track of all those coupons. I star mine. I highlight mine and star them, so I know where they're at in February when I need them. Okay. So bonus days is just a fun time that we give you a little extra on top of your rewards for the month of February. So that's super fun. Next, Cake Day birthday card class is this Thursday. It is sold out in person, but you can still get a kit to go. The link for that will be in the description. $25 plus shipping to get your kit sent to you in the mail for 3 cards. They're over-the-top cards. Look at all the die cuts on this card, like tons of die cuts. And a full-color PDF of all the instructions. So that link will be in the description after this video is over. Next, I have a Super Saturday event coming up on January 24th. It's an all-day event, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. here at my house in Midland, Texas. Breakfast and lunch included if you come in person. Shipping included if you're taking it to go. Let me show you the 2 bundles, suites really, that we'll be using. So you will get lots of the paper, ribbon, embellishments, ephemera, and so it's not just the basics. It's a lot of extra product and fun. So this is the lovely and beautiful suite. You guys saw me make some fun cards with that last week. And then we're also using the Made with Love suite, 5 projects made with the Made with Love suite, that Valentine suite. So if you want to get a head start on making those Valentine cards, come to my Super Saturday event or get it to go. All right. And then last but not least, my monthly craft along online is going to be the Valentine Kisses stamp set and dies and lots of extra product as well. So let me pull this banner off. You need this bundle in order to do the craft along with me, but you will get sent all the card bases and everything you need in the mail to craft along with me, as well as a half a packet of our lovely doilies, a half of a packet, so fun, of the trying to remember the name, Love Notes 6x6 paper. Super fun prints for Valentine's Day, and some really cute little Valentine's-y plackets here that you can add to treat bags, and lots of fun things in this paper. So you get a half a pack of the paper, half a pack of the doilies. You get a package of embellishments, which are the rainbow, I don't see them here. Sorry. You get, trust me, you get a pack of embellishments and a whole roll of this balmy blue ribbon. Okay, so that is the craft along. You have till the end of this week to sign up for the craft along, and the link will be up in the description as well. Such cute cards, such a fun bundle for Halloween. I just love the kissing booth. Isn't that just adorable? And those sweet little bears. So think about joining us for that the last week of January. Registration closes on the 18th, and that's so I can get everything cut and in the mail to you so that you can craft along with me. Okay, so how about we tuddle up and do some stamping together? The lovely Blossom Suite, let me move to my hands here, is a beautiful suite that is an online exclusive. So online exclusive just means that it's not in the catalog, but it's available in the TuddleUpShop.com. Okay, so there is a bundle that is called Lovely Arrangements, and the dies are the hit of the show, I think. So look at these fun dies. You're going to see what they do today, but you get this die cut element. There's these circles. You get this one that just cuts little eyelets out of your cardstock, and of course you get the flowers. You get a leaf that you stamp and die cut, and you also get embossed leaves as well, and two little labels. So that is what comes in the die set. I'm going to leave that open right over here. The Lovely Arrangement stamp set, again, great fonts, great everyday set. You get the flowers and the leaves, and lots of great sentiments in this set. This embossing folder is called Lovely Stripes. It is part of the suite as well. And we have used this a couple of times already. We will be using it again today, but I really love it. It's like a ticking fabric kind of look to it. It's very pretty. These are the embellishments that go with this suite. They are called Moody Palette Glossy Dots. Moody Palette Glossy Dots. I don't know who makes up these names, but look at how pretty these dots are with this paper. So you get Secret Sea, Old Olive, Cloud Cover, Basic White in those glossy dots. This ribbon is called the Cloud Cover Textured Ribbon. It is very nice, very easy to tie a bow with. It's a little wider than what we normally use for our ribbon. I think it's a 1 inch. Is it 1 inch? 5/8 of an inch, it says. So, but it ties beautifully. Look at this. Beautiful bows. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it, but not much. It definitely has like a linen feel to it. Okay, so hi Dana, thanks for joining me. Your stuff is going out today, Dana, so sorry for the delay on all the things I owe you, but you will get them in the mail today and get them in the mail later this week. So this is called the Cloud Cover 5/8 inch textured ribbon. Super pretty. Very elegant feeling for sure. And then this is the paper. It is called Lovely Blossoms 12x12 paper. So I showed you this yesterday. You get a sheet that has these little plackets on them. Great for just cutting and using on a card front, popping on a sentiment and some of those dots and some of those ribbon, and you are good to go. This is a ticking stripe, as Melissa Valicenti told us yesterday. That's what it's called. That's in Cloud Cover. How pretty is this? This is probably my favorite. I don't know. I don't know if I can say that. But petal pink, white, a secret sea, and cloud cover are in this. These big, bold blossoms. And then the back side is just an old olive, kind of linen print there. And then we have these small, petite flowers on crumb cake. We're actually using this for some leaves today. Super fun. And then the back side is just this print with the secret sea and cloud cover. I do love this print as well. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining us today. I love green, white, blues, right? They're so pretty, and just a beautiful print on that one. And then the back side is this petal pink. So you get 3 of each print. Okay, usually it's 2, but this set has 3. And then you get all these panels again with the ticking stripe on the back, right? So super awesome suite. You can get this whole suite. Now, I'm going to tell you, you can't get the whole suite right now because the stamp set and dies are on back order. However, they'll be back in stock at the end of this week, okay? So be looking out for that. You can go ahead and place a $50 order and then add the bundle on later on if you want to. That's always doable as well. So let's get started with some stamping. Who wants to tuttle up and get some stamping done here? Okay, so this is our first card this week. How fun is that? Sending Smiles. Lots of layers on this. You got that embossing folder there in the back, and then just a pretty bloom stamped in the corner. Sending Smiles. So let's do this one together. This one goes together super fast and easy, which I love. All right, all my pieces here. So starting out with a card base that is Secret Sea, 5.5 by 8.5. Scored down the middle at 4 1/4. We're gonna fold this in half. Use my bone folder, Stampin' Up! Bone folder to get a really good crease on that. And then I've cut my petal pink cardstock into 4 by 5 1/4. And then I've embossed it with that lovely stripes embossing folder. Now I'm gonna turn it so that the side with the dotted lines is on top, okay? Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell, but this side is indented. This side, everything pops to the front, and that's the side that I want to put on the front of my card right here, okay? Trying to get a feel, like, does it feel like things are a little darker here than they usually are? I'm not sure why. All my regular lights are on, so... And it isn't even cloudy outside. Sometimes if it's cloudy outside, it affects the light in here. Okay, so let me make sure I've got the right side up right here. And that's going to go right there on the front of my card. And then I have this print right here. This is that one that I told you I loved so much. Let me see if I can get this to go. Ah! There we go. That helped a little bit, didn't it? My lamp stand was on the dimmer version. This is going to go right here on this edge, okay? But before I do that, I have this piece of ticking stripe right here, and it's going to tuck underneath here. It's just going to kind of go sideways and like that. But it's okay that there's a little space right here because we're going to cover that up in just a second, okay? So I'm going to start with this one, kind of giving myself a visual of where I want it. Here. Just a tad bit more. There we go. That goes right there. Kind of catty corner. This one is going to go right along this side edge, just a tiny bit of that embossing folder showing on that side right there. Went off a tiny bit on my edge, so I'm just going to trim a smidge. There we go. All right. So pretty, right? Now I've cut a piece of old olive, 1/2 by 5.5, and I am just going to adhere this over this seam right here and cover up where those pieces kind of come together. I want to make sure I'm at the very top here, all the way to the bottom, right like that. So pretty, right? Okay, now I have 2 panels here. I have a Secret C that is 3 1/4 by 4, and then I have a basic white that is 3 3/4 by 3. Okay, so I'm just going to start with this panel, and I'm going to stamp 2 leaves on this. Do you know, when you go online and you want something that is not currently available, you can type in your email address and let them know that you want to be made aware when it comes back. And when you do that, they send you an email the second it's back in stock, which is kind of fun. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. So I stamped the leaves in old olive in kind of alternating corners there. And I'm going to adhere this to my front here, right like that. Now, I took that ribbon and I cut it in half because it was a little too wide and long for this small little panel right here. So I cut it in half the long way. I used the first half on my sample card here, which you can see right there, okay? And then I saved the other half for this card. So I'm going to create a little faux bow here. It's where you just make 2 loops and bring them together. And then this is going to get adhered right here in the center between those 2 leaves, okay? So I'm going to grab a piece of tearing tape. And I'm going to make sure I kind of put this tearing tape in a horizontal fashion so that my label will cover it up when I adhere my label onto that, okay? So here we go. I'm going to cut these ends off, shorten them up a little bit. Okay, now I have my label from the die set. Hi, Pam. Thanks for joining us. And this is Petal Pink, and it's a label. It's one of the dies that are in the die set right here. So here's our die set, and it's this rounded label right there that I'm using, okay? I'm going to stamp on this Sending Smiles in Secret C ink. Had you guys seen this suite before? You know, every once in a while you should go on and just type in online exclusives and see what pops up, because there's a lot of great stuff in our online exclusive store that is not in the catalog. So I don't want you to miss it. And it's part of the reason why I do classes at least once a month using online exclusive products, so that you know that they're there, right? Okay, so I am adhering some dimensionals onto the back side here. There we go. It's going to say Sending Smiles right there in the middle. Okay, now I want to stamp 2 flowers. So I have 2 panels of white that are 4 by 5 1/4. Hi, Veda from Indiana. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so I'm stamping two flowers on this panel, and I'm doing it in cloud cover ink. So I'm using my spot because the regular cloud cover ink pads were not, what do I want to say, 100% guaranteed because of some ink formulation issues. So I'm going to stamp two of these in cloud cover ink right there. All right. And then while I have that out, this is the panel that's going to go on the inside, and I'm going to stamp one of these flowers. I love Old Olive too. Old Olive is probably my favorite green. I can't pick a favorite blue because I like so many of them. I do love Secret Sea for sure. All right, so that's going to be the inside. Now, while I have the inside out here, I'm going to grab my Old Olive and stamp some leaves around this flower. I'm going to stamp one kind of coming off that way, and maybe, one kind of coming off from the bottom like that. There we go. That's going to be the inside of my card. Hi, Mary, my friend. Happy Monday. And this is going to go right here on the inside of my card base. Okay. Now, all I have to do is take my dies and die cut out these flowers. So I have two. Well, I have one that I'll have to run it through 2 times. Okay, so I'm just going to keep rotating this around till it all lines up on the flower, right like that. Okay, it's kind of like a little puzzle. I'm going to have to do this twice because they only gave us one of these flowers. I don't know how they measure that because I feel like on some die sets they give us multiples of the dies, and then on others they don't. So let me run this through once for this flower, and then I'll do it one more time for the second flower. Okay, so here's one flower. There we go. And here is my second flower. I'm going to get it all set up here on my plate and run it through again. There we go. Put that off to the side, that scrap that's left over. All right, so now these two flowers are going to get popped up on either side of these leaves and on either side of this Sending Smiles label. This one's going to go right here. And I like it to overlap the label just a tiny bit. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. Right like that. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on this other side in that corner. Couple of dimensionals. Pop it up right there. So pretty. Okay, so now this panel can get popped up. How pretty is that with the pretty and pink? I love pretty. I said pretty and pink. I love petal pink with Secret Sea and Old Olive. I just think it's a beautiful combination, right? Great color palette for sure. That's what I like about this suite is the colors in it are just so pretty. Can't go wrong for sure. Okay, so I'm adding some dimensionals here. This is going to get popped up on the front. And we're going to add some dots. Isn't it so pretty? I know, it is such a pretty bundle. I agree, Jackie. Okay, so I'm grabbing my Take Your Pick tool because I really love this putty tip for adding on my embellishments. So I'm going to take a large one. Just totally messed that up. And it's going to go down here at the bottom. Let's see if I can lift that one. Okay, I'm giving up on it. Just move on, Judy. Move on, right? Let it go. The small one, I'm going to put right here in that corner right there. Then I'm going to grab another small one and put it right in there. And that is card number 1. Do you guys love it? So pretty and really not hard, right? And then that is the inside of the card. So that is card number 1. Let me move this all over to the side here. And we will pull out the second card for today. We will be making 5 projects all together. So the first 2 are today, the second 2 are tomorrow, and the 3D project, which I do every week, will be on Wednesday. Some kind of 3D project. So come back over the next couple of days and see all the projects that we're making with this bundle. Now, this card I love, love, love. And I'm going to tell you, I cased it from the online store. They had a very similar card, but it was all petal pink. It didn't have quite as many layers in it. And I thought, I want to try that in Secret Sea. So lots of die cuts. So I did some of them ahead of time for us, okay? Hello, friend. And then this is always here for you. That's the inside of the card. So let's make this one together. Pull out my pieces here. Okay. I need one of these for the inside. And I'm not sure if I need that other one. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, those dies from that die set. So you get this one that makes these circles, which I just love, very retro feeling. And then this one that cuts out the eyelets in the card. So it doesn't cut around the edge. It only cuts out the eyelets on the inside of the card. Then I decided I wanted some cloud cover to kind of show through those eyelets. So I cut a piece of cloud cover, just a little bit bigger than my Secret Sea panel that has the eyelets in it. This panel, the Secret Sea panel, I think is 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. And so the cloud cover is 2 7/8 by 3 3/8. Okay, so I'm going to grab some liquid glue here. And I'm going to glue the cloud cover panel to the Secret Sea eyelet panel here. Okay, just added some glue kind of in between those eyelets like that. And then I'm going to adhere it here. So just an edge shows and then the color shows through those eyelet parts, okay? Okay, so let me fold my card base in half. 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. The cards for tomorrow are fun folds, so that'll be fun. And then the 3D project will be on Wednesday. Okay, so this is going to go flat on the card front, and it's going to kind of go catty corner like that. Okay, so I'm going to add some Seal Plus to the back, and then this is going to go right like that. All right, then this panel with the circles, I just love that. It reminds me of like a 70s, what I want to say, kind of lattice between rooms. I don't know. I'm probably showing my age when I say that, but this is going to get popped up right here, kind of off to the side of that one. So I'm going to add this. Some dimensionals to the back. And I did a lot of stamping and die cutting ahead of time because there were just so many on this card that I wanted to not spend my whole time die cutting with you. So there we go. That's going to go right there on our card front, right like that. Okay. And this is what I've already stamped and die cut. I die cut 3 old olive leaves, Veda. So you'll like that. I have the flowers that I stamped in Secret C and die cut out of the dies. And then, this is fun, I have these two like more detailed leaves, this one and this one, the single one. And I cut this out of that DSP that was crumb cake with the white little flowers. And I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to grab our brush, our blending brush, and our crumb cake ink, and I'm just going to blend a little bit of crumb cake ink on these leaves to just make them a little bit less white. Okay, so you'll still be able to see the flowers through it, and I'll compare them for you here so you can see the difference. Okay, so here's one without the blending and one with the blending. So it just kind of mutes out that bold white, right? And this, of course, totally optional. But I did think it made kind of a nice little effect on the card there. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm just going to start layering these onto my card. So this one is going to kind of go up in this corner right here. So I used mostly liquid glue, except for my flowers, which I used dimensionals on. Okay, so this one. Hi, Amy Franklin. How are you? Face fuchsia flower shape. I don't know what you're saying there. Hey, hey there, face fuchsia flower shape. I don't know what you're saying to me there, Amy, but you know, there you go. You can explain it to me later. So Amy was with me in Lansing. We met in Lansing when I broke my foot, and except for one small incident, she took very good care of me. So we will always have a bond together from that. This flower is going right, this leaf is going right here. All right, right like that. Then I'm going to start adding these little double flower. It looks like I should have one more. I wonder if there's one more in my envelope that I can pull out. Yeah, here's another one. Okay, so this is going to get adhered. up in this section with that other leaf. See how nicely that kind of layers and it kind of softens it up. And then I'm going to wait on that one. This one I need to add some crumb cake ink to and soften it up a little bit before I add it to my card. There we go. All right. Before I add that one, I'm going to pop this one up right over here in that space right there. I'm going to use a dimensional on the back. Okay. Then this one is going to get adhered kind of right on top of that, like that. I might put a dimensional underneath this leaf right here. Yeah, it was the word face fuchsia flower shape. That's funny, Amy. All right, so this little leaf is going to kind of go over the flower in that little leaf down there. We're going to take this one. Nope, we're going to do our label next. So now we're going to grab our label and we're going to stamp this cloud color label that came from the die set in Secret Sea ink, and it's going to say hello friend. There we go. I pulled out a piece of that ribbon and I'm going to just adhere some ribbon behind this label. To just add a little texture behind it. So I'm going to grab my Seal Plus, I'm going to run a piece behind the label, and then this is going to get adhered right there behind the label to just add a little texture behind that, okay? Then you can cut it off a little shorter. All right, this is going to get popped up right here. So it's already popped here. It's already popped on this little leaf right here. So I really think I'm just going to put a couple of dimensionals in the very corners here. And then put a little seal up here at the top. And then that is all going to adhere just like I want it to, right like that. Okay, now this little leaf, I'm going to add some glue to the back of it. I told you lots of pieces on this, right? But what a stunning card. I love this card. Hope you guys love this card. Right there. Don't you like all the elements just popping out from that? It's so, so pretty. And then this baby, this little half flower is going to get adhered right here to the bottom. And it's going to overlap some things, but I do want a dimensional underneath it here at the bottom or at the top. I don't know how you look at that. All right, like that. So pretty. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, so next, I'm going to take my white dots and grab my take your pick tool and pull some up, swoop them up, and lay them kind of around my flowers here. Let's see, where do I want this one? Maybe kind of down in there. Good. I put another small one. I used 5 on this one. So we have another small one right here. And then another larger one kind of down here in this corner, and then one more small one kind of down here. So fun. I love the pop of white of those dots on that secret C. Isn't that fun? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's do the inside really quick. We are going to use 2 stamps. We're going to use that large flower again in secret C. So I'm going to stamp it in the corner here. And then this stamp that says, always here for you. There we go. Add some Seal Plus to the back. Add this to the inside. And we are done with our 2 cards for today. I hope you love these projects. So here was the one I just made. Whoops, I just totally tore that leaf. I'm going to have to glue that down. And then this is the first card that I made. So this week's online class to go, you will get a kit to make one of each of the projects I'm going to show you over the next 3 days, and a PDF of how to put them together. And of course you have this video available forever on YouTube as well. And I'm going to come to my face here. My fuchsia flower face, maybe. I shouldn't laugh so hard. I still have a little bit of a cough. But I will be back here tomorrow at noon with 2 more projects, 2 fun folds, and then Wednesday a 3D project. So if you love what you saw, if you love these cards and you want to make them at home, you can get a kit in the mail by going to mytuddleupshop.com, spending $50 or more, and I'll send you a kit with the PDF in the mail. Can't stamp things for you, so keep that in mind as you're ordering. And if you spend $60, I'll throw in those Moody palette dots for you as well. So see you tomorrow at noontime, and 2 more great projects for you using this bundle, this sweet, lovely Blossoms Suite in the online store. So bye-bye. Take care.